So welcome everyone. We're happy to see all of you here and glad that you've joined us for our webinar. We're really excited to show you some of the new features we've been working on and give you a look at what's coming next as well. Of course, if you couldn't make it live, no worries, the session is being recorded and we'll send out the recording afterwards as well. So yeah, joining us today are Mario and Gabor, who will be mostly hosting the session. Hello, guys.
Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining.
Perfect, thank you. So yeah, let's get started and jump right into today's agenda. So we've packed it with a lot of exciting updates. You'll see how hotspots can now bring multimedia to life and how learning paths have become even smarter with new ways to group the content. We'll also explore a few new feature updates related to events, as well as fresh badge types that we introduced. We'll cover improved global control over different menus and features and small but important update on new placement of certificates on admin. Plus, lastly, we'll take a look at our new multi-language content translation feature and wrap it all up with a few sneak peeks of what's coming next. Great, so starting with our first point, Mario, could you give us a quick walkthrough?
Yeah, gladly. So this is a very exciting new feature that we've rolled out already. And we've really enriched the hotspots in a lot of different ways. So first of all, as you can already see here, you can now customize the actual clickable point on the hotspot. So you can have it be arrows. You see the whole aesthetics has changed. So you have a lot more freedom in designing your own hotspot. So it doesn't have to be a plus. It can be an arrow. It can be a star. You can make it any kind of color. So this is very customizable. On top of that, you see that it used to be a fixed sort of size, and now it really adapts to the amount of text. We can add media, we can add videos, pictures, audio. So I think the overall look and feel of the hotspot have just really dramatically improved. A lot more visual, a lot more exciting, and a lot more different things we can do with it. You can easily change the color, as you can see here. You can easily play with it. So we think that the amount of sort of different things you can now do with the hotspots has really, really improved. And yeah, we invite you to play around with it, check it out. You can add videos, you can add pictures, you can really, see how easy it is here on the animation as well. It's very intuitive. If you have questions, of course, let us know. But it's yeah, an exciting new feature. I don't know if I missed anything, Gabor.
No, nothing. Actually, this is part of our big plans for 2026 to improve the slide builder
Yeah.
further because we rolled out a lot of exciting features this year, but it's very important to take the content creation to the next level as well. And of course, being more media reach for the different elements, it helps a lot. And even to the hotspots, we already had new ideas coming, like also an audio file, for example, and also different kind of color changes, or maybe customize even more the icons. So feel free to come with your ideas as well. What should be the next step for this hotspot widget? But we are very happy that we already have this video and audio support rolled out.
Yeah, definitely.
Great, thanks a lot for this introduction. Moving forward, we have learning path improvements. So over to you, Gabor. Tell us a bit more about this update.
We actually have quite a lot of improvements on learning path, and this is one of them. So this video shows how to make groups in the learning path. So there can be two cases. One case is when you have your content in the catalog already organized into courses and modules, the way how you want to present it in the learning path, which is great, that you don't need grouping. However, there's another case when you want to cherry pick some content, let's say some lessons from various courses, which was already possible in learning path as well, but it was like a quite long list. We've seen clients who really did like 40, 50 small lessons, which is great. It's a long learning path, being an expert on the field. However, it was not as intuitive on the front end as it could be. So that's why we created the grouping. So you can create groups on logical elements and units. So you are not enforced to use the catalog structures. So you don't have to have the same structure in courses as you want to present a learning path. So this gives much more flexibility to cherry pick content. One example is that some of our clients are using Learning Path to set up levels. So beginner level or the basics on the topic to learn something about the products, for example. There is an intermediate level, and there are different kind of professional and expert levels. And then you could, in this case, you could cherry pick from different products, the basics lesson, and then the expert, and so on and so forth. So this is really helping to set up a much more structured learning path, gives more freedom to select and organize the content. However, in Learning Path, I'm not sure we have as a point in this demonstration, but we are also working now to add statistics, more detailed statistics. It's probably something we will show more in detail in the next webinar, but it's very important that it's not just becoming more flexible, but we are giving more insights as well. There are the users and so on, but more to come.
Yeah, and I think what's really important is that this is really what we did together with our clients. So as Gabor described, it's really a lot more freedom. You can group, you can really, we already, of course, launched the compact and the detailed layout. So now on top of that, you have this grouping. So it's becoming more and more custom to really how you want to see it and how you want it to be. It can also kind of vary between different learning paths. So that's also very cool. You could have one that has groups, one that doesn't, right? So it's also, you can really have fun with it. And it's really, we really worked very closely with quite a few of our clients. So this was a really nice exercise, and I think it will be a huge improvement to how you can build learning paths in the future.
Yes, definitely. A lot more to come related to the learning paths, that's for sure. Thank you, guys. Great. So now jumping to a new feature as well. It's quite complex, I would say, but a very interesting one. So it's connected events. Perhaps, Gabor, again, could you walk us through how this works in practice?
Yes. So as you said, that's probably a more complicated topic, but very important topic, because many of our clients said learning paths are nice, but how to use it with blended learning? So there will be some content to learn, lessons and quizzes, but then after, how to let the user, learner, to participate on an event. Let it be a webinar or let it be an in-person event. So this is what we are addressing with connected events, basically. So what it means is that you can create a sort of a topic on inside the event, which is kind of bringing together different dates and occasions when this event is happening. So, for example, you can see this workshop session 2 on the screen right now. So you create one topic. And it can be the global admin, but very important, it can be also the country managers or other regional managers who are after responsible to add their own events under this the same topic basically. So there can be a different date and time and language, because we added language sort as well to define this event is in English language, in French language, Italian language. When you're creating an event, you can define that. But so the different managers are responsible to create their events. One is happening tomorrow, Friday, 10 a.m. in UK. The other one is happening in China, at 2 p.m. So these events are connected. That's why we call them connected events with this topic. And now what you can do with this topic to add all of these at once to the learning path. It can be that you are adding this topic to the learning path without even having the dates. Just you indicate that there will be a point in the learning path where you will have to take part of a webinar or an in-person classroom event. And as the administrators are populating with new and new dates, then the learner can take part of one of them. And it doesn't matter which one you take part of. As soon as you take part of one of the events, webinar or in person, you will kind of complete that step on the learning path. So everything is now coming nicely together. So you have now everything in your hands to kind of conduct this blended learning using the learning path.
And it's so handy when you're across time zones, right? That's really where the request came from. You have different regions, people can choose their own time, or they might not all be available Wednesday 3 p.m. And so you have a few time slots they choose, and it's easy to manage.
Right. And it's really handy because from this point on, it's not the global administrator, the HQ, who has to take care of adding all these events,
Yeah.
but really the regional managers can do it. But yes, they are still connected. So the HQ can still follow who participated this topic, regardless of from which location or from which user group.
So yeah, it's actually this was quite a big rollout. It was quite a complex feature, but I think now it will be for all those clients that are already using webinars or in-person sessions or that are going to do it. It's really a huge help.
Yes, and I need to mention here, because I'm not sure everyone knows, that we have the private event function. Probably it was like part of some previous study now, but
Yeah.
an event can be public for everyone, private for a specific group, but now we have also private for specific persons. And why this is great, because this is an important point for building a learning path in blended learning, because there are some cases, and it's a tip how to build a learning path, that when the event is happening, the users might not be invited at that point to the event. So the administrator comes back, it checks, okay, I see, I don't know, 50 users are waiting at this point to take part of an event. And that's the point when you book a meeting room and you invite these 50 people to this location for this in-person event. And here it's handy to cherry pick those 50 persons or students easily from the learning path, saying, okay, you guys can come to the event. This is an opportunity. If you miss it, that's also fine. There will be another one as well.
Yeah, it's very important that not everyone necessarily sees the event.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And of course, if you need any support with exploring that feature or setting up or testing it, then you can always reach out to us and your dedicated project manager as well. And we'll be happy to guide you through that in more detail or on a specific case study as well. Great. Thank you. So the next one is connected to the events. It's event registration via the QR code. So it actually means that right now you don't have to necessarily click on all the attendees afterwards, but they can register sort of by themselves and confirm the attendance. So you can either download the QR code that is a unique one for an event and then distribute it during the meeting, the in-person meeting, or you can simply show it on a full screen when you're wrapping up the class or in the middle, really depending on you. And the users simply scan it and they are taken to confirm via the app or the web app their attendance. So I'm not sure, Gabor, you want to mention something here additionally?
No, really, this is the feature. Maybe just a bit of a background where this is coming from. So we always strive to make it easier to use the platform and ease your life as an administrator to manage content, learning paths, and events, and so on and so forth. So this request was again coming from different clients saying, at the moment when an in-person event is ending, the trainer, the administrator needs to go back and one by one tick who was there on the event, which is still a possibility, but it takes time to do it. So this QR feature is helping not having to do that. We just simply print it or display it on the projector, and the students can do it themselves. So you don't have to spend additional time after it. So this is very important for us. Make it more modern, more fluid all the time for all the different people.
Saving everyone time.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Cool. So now moving a bit away from the events, we'll jump to gamification area. So yeah, we have the excited update on the badges. We have a few new types. So first of all, we have like feedback form badge type. What it means is that when you choose the number of feedback that the user should leave on the platform, they would receive such a little badge of appreciation, and they actually left defined number of feedbacks on the platform. Besides that, we also have reaching a certain score on certain number of quizzes badge. So it is a bit of an appreciation, right, as well. So if the users complete different quizzes on a certain score, they would also receive such a dedicated badge. And you can really customize that in the designing badge area, sort of. So you can really go there and see what are the different assignment types. As you can see on the video, it's quite a lot of them already. So you can really explore that and test what works best for your users. And the last badge I think that's worth mentioning here, the new one is about the leaderboard points as well. So you can also choose the number of leaderboard points that the users should get. So it doesn't really like connect to the content at all, right? But depending on the leaderboard points you define on different content, then the users will be granted when they achieve that area. So yeah, quite a lot of exciting updates here in the gamification area, right, Marielle? Gabor?
Yeah, we really try to always, work on gamification. We know it's a really big topic in general, so that's going to be also again a topic for next year in the new offering to add more gamification. We're currently looking at to add more scenarios, for example, but we already feel like at least this is one step in the right direction, just to have these different types of badges to just be able to again customize the experience more and more. I think that's always a good goal, just to give you more flexibility, more options. Basically, yeah, make it more interactive and also the unique per, let's say, lesson or course, so we have a different experience.
Yes, and I think you mentioned the leaderboard points and the feedback-based badge, but there's a third one, which is the quiz result-based type as well that we added and already available. Because in the end of the day, what is very important for all learning platform is the knowledge retention, to learn it and to keep this knowledge. So we need to motivate learners different ways to retain this knowledge. And this badge type, what it does, you can set up, for example, you get this badge if you complete 3 quizzes on 100%, or I know 10 quizzes on 75%. So you can motivate the learners to reach a specific score on quizzes to get this kind of badge, which is very important for knowledge retention. We have other ideas as well, how to for next year, how to like refresh memory on the learned items, or how to fill gaps with the specific unique quizzes. But this badge is also a very important element to implement to motivate the learners.
Yeah, and it's again something we always do it together with our clients. So if you have more ideas or requests around badges, we're always happy to listen and discuss with our UX team. This was again something we really developed hand in hand with some of our clients.
Thanks a lot for that. Jumping to our next point, it's more for admins, but it's a really interesting update. So now you can really manage the items of the menu and globally the features on the platform. And what it means is that we now have a dedicated section in the settings that you can see now on the screen, and you can really define what features you want globally to be enabled or disabled. There might be some cases that you may not need chat feature or community feature at all, and you really don't want it to be displayed even on the admin area. So right now it's possible to disable it entirely. And of course, if you decide to enable it like in a few months, it's perfectly fine. You can do it very quickly in this dedicated area. Besides that, we also have the menu management, and this is super exciting because right now you don't have to, let's say, stick to the fixed item order and even the visibility of those items. You can really define it either for desktop or for mobile, and also for the mobile app as well, for the bottom menu, for example. So this is like super clear now that you can, reorder or hide from the front end different items. So this might be quite nice. And Gabor, I bet you want to add something here, so go for it.
No, I'm just, I always want. So actually, just a small sneak peek is that now ordering of these menu elements is really exciting, because you can really say, I don't know, the video, I want to promote our videos or our events, so I pull it about the catalog and so on and so forth. But we are also going to add the feature where you can add your custom pages. So there's the page builder, which is, by the way, going through an evolution very soon. But the pages you created, you will be able to add yourself in the menu, select the corresponding icon for it, and organize it where you want. We have sometimes we already have some custom pages, but they always needed our help to add these ones, sometimes about prices or just a news page or any other informative additional page, which is a bit custom. So that's also coming to be able to add it manually and manage yourself.
Great. Thanks for the sneak peek. Before the sneak peeks part, that's good to mention that here. Great. So now very small update, but super important as we mentioned in the agenda overview. So we now move the certificates to the dedicated achievement section in the side menu. So now you can manage all your achievements, badges, certificates within the same area in the side menu rather than going directly to the settings and defining that here. Otherwise, I don't think anything else changed about the certificates, at least yet, but this could be an important information for you. So you are not surprised you cannot find certificates anymore under the settings. They are now under the achievements section.
Small practical announcement, right, Julia?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's quite useful to know if we relocate management areas. So yeah, just a small one. Next, we have multi-language content translation. So maybe Gabor, you want to take us through this one a bit more in detail.
Yes, of course, we already had a translation in the system, automatic translation with different kind of connected providers. Sneak peek, one more provider is coming out. I don't know if you had at the end of the video, but this specific feature helps to translate a new content to multiple languages. We have clients who are managing more than 10 languages, sometimes 15 languages. Now, before you had to go to each language and translate, wait for the translation, go to the next one. So, I mean, it's like a quite long process. Now we added this panel that you can see on the animation, where you can select the multiple languages at once. You can do this on a slide level, just for a specific slide, or also for the whole lesson, obviously. And you can follow the translation progress, as you can see also in the animation. But it's also fine just to leave it there and come back. It will do it in the background, this processing. So it really helps to speed up the creation of multi-language content.
Yeah, this was really by popular demand. So as you can imagine, quite a few of our clients did not want to go language by language and lesson by lesson. So now the fact you can say, well, here's 10 languages and let's go run it in the background. I think it's just a little bit more friendly for everyone's time. So again, one of those automations that I think are just going to make it even easier. I mean, already, of course, the AI translation saves us tons and tons of time, but this is just the cherry on the cake, I would say.
Yes, definitely. Perfect. So now we're done with the main part of our webinar with the core features we wanted to introduce. But since we already mentioned a few sneak peeks and we really love to share those with you, we'd like to introduce a few. So we can't reveal everything just yet, but we're already excited to give you a quick glimpse of the features and the updates we've been working on behind the scenes. So starting with reports, Gabor, would you like to take the lead on explaining this one?
Yes, yes, we thought that we are adding this section to the webinar to also show what we are currently working on. It's always a question, okay, guys, what is the roadmap? Our roadmap is very flexible, so we are bringing on new items. But here is what we are currently working on. So reports indeed is the first one, very important. In short, the goal will be to save your reports that you are regularly coming back and you need. Because at the moment you have to go, I don't know, users section, set your filters, set your columns, what you want to download, and you have to do this all the time. Now with this system, you will be able to set a kind of a configuration for a report. And the idea on top of that is to be able to automatically generate it. So you could say, I need this report every first day of the month, for example. So the system will generate you, send you an email about it. You have to necessarily come back and click it together. You just come, or it's in your mailbox, you download and so on. So there's the double added value. Plus, we are planning to display here the historical reports, meaning if you set up a configuration of a specific kind, and you say, I need this weekly, monthly, and so on, then you can come back and see the historical data as well, the snapshots of those reports as they have been generated. So you can more easily compare two periods of time, for example, in the past. So this is the new report section.
Yeah, and I think it's super nice and it's a bit techy. It's a bit more on the geeky side, showing all the data. But what we really realized as well as we were working on the dashboard is the dashboard is really the visual representation, but you might have different departments asking for different report extracts, and the dashboard is never going to keep, even within one brand, all those departments happy. And so this is why we can really then help you set up those 4 or 5 key reports that you probably need on a regular basis. And it's going to make it so much easier. You don't need to go and search that data. It's generated automatically and it just saves everyone time.
Yes. And maybe just one more thing, that we already rolled out a few new metrics when you generate reports. So for example, we added reporting possibility to the content section. Now you're adding to the group section, more flexible one. And on the users report downloads, we have like tons of new possibilities to select the content specifically you want to download. We are now adding learning path status and so on. So these are, let's say, micro features, but very important metrics. So everything will be kind of concentrated in this new feature as well, but it is already available. So if you go today to the users page, you can see these reports evolving almost on a weekly basis. New possibilities are coming that you can download.
Great, thank you. I guess the follow-up question would always be, when it comes to sneak peeks, what is the expected launch date for this one, if it's already on the roadmap?
Yeah. So for any new feature that we speak about on this webinar as a sneak peek, I think it's, let's say, the next 3 months kind of. So we are not looking more ahead of that. So anything that we are showing right now, we expect to be done in the next 3 months.
Great. Now jumping to another exciting update on our side. As you may already know, we've recently introduced challenges feature, and now we want to take one more step further and have one-on-one battles. So maybe Mario, would you like to share some more details on this one?
Yeah, I would be happy to. So, of course, the challenge feature was really what we received, and I think it's a very nice feature. But we also realized there was some talk about, yeah, but how can we challenge someone one on one, or how can we make really within teams or within communities, people sort of, let's say, interact and work together? So, this is really now what this is. So, it's a really separate feature for the challenge feature. You don't need to use it together. You can really say, okay, here there is a battle. I'm going to challenge Gabor, and then I select a specific content. So I say, okay, on the HR lesson, and let's see who does it best, who gets the best score, who wins, let's say. So it's a little bit appealing to the competitive nature as well of your learners, which we see with adult learning can be quite fun, can be quite light, can be quite a good way of motivating learners, getting them to come back to the platform as well. Because maybe Gabor hasn't logged in for a few weeks, and I send him a little ping saying, well, you've been challenged. So it's a nice incentive for people to come back. We're still working on the UI UX right now. That's why it's sleepy. So you won't see all the screens yet. But basically, the workflow will be that I go to the platform. I say, look, I want to challenge a person. I select the person from my community. I then select the course or the lesson or the piece of content that I want to challenge them on, whether it's a quiz or something else. And then I basically click, let's go. And the challenge is launched. So details will follow, but that's, I guess, in a nutshell, right?
Yes. However, when it comes to the content selection, again, the end goal is to kind of retain knowledge. So the plan is actually that administrators can set up a quiz with the quiz bank of questions, I don't know, 100 different questions on the topic that needs to be deepened because it's the topic of the current month, like a new product or something. So you really have a tool in your hands to kind of deepen a current topic that you want people to make a challenge on. So then you can actually run multiple topics as well at the same time in case you want. So that's really like a tool which is fun, engaging, but in the end it has a real value for the knowledge.
It anchors the knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now moving to our next sneak peek is the carousel widget in the authoring tool. As Gabor mentioned at the very beginning when we talked about hotspots, we have a few ideas how to improve the authoring tool, how to develop new widgets, and the tool itself. So this is another step. So maybe Mario, you could tell us a bit more about this feature.
Yeah, I would be happy to. So basically, of course, as Gabor said, it's really for Q1 that we're going to upgrade the entire full authoring tool. But we did isolate, let's say, a few key features that we just really feel are very important that we're already kind of sneak peeking today that are already going to be done over the next 3 months. And one of those is coming up later is branch lessons, and one of those is carousel. And carousel, we just realized that a lot of content creators were asking us, can we do image carousels, even if it's a simple one? You know, it would be so nice, such a value added to the authoring tool. So we realized this was really a very common request. And we also realized that even working with our own creative team and our own content creators, that they would really, really love this feature. So that's why we fast tracked it. But of course, our design team did push us to just make it a little bit go beyond, let's say, just the basic image carousel where you just have image and slide and slide and slide. Because we wouldn't be Learning Lab if we weren't innovating things a little bit. So as you can see or hear already on the sneak preview, let's say, you can then decide the layout. So you can have different sizes of cards. And you can say, would you like some text on the cards? Would you like that to look in a certain way? So as you can see on the right side, you have some background or not. We're even playing with the idea of adding audios over it in some cases. The details are still being worked out, but this will be just a very nice way of having different cards and having knowledge also come your way in this way. So this is something that's going to come up really soon, as Gabor said, in the next 3 months. So it will be our Christmas gift to you. And I think it will really be a nice addition for the content creation.
Thanks a lot for that. I saw Pascal is also super happy about this one.
Yes, we're all excited.
Yes.
Great, great. Moving forward, I guess this is another yet exciting feature. This is just a sneak peek on our approach to InstaLearn. So again, Mario and maybe even Pascal, the floor is yours here. Can you share more about this feature, what we have in mind?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that we're really excited about, and it's come up in a lot of discussions and, let's say, case studies over the past 2 years where we're brainstorming with clients and how we can really make learning really adapted to the modern learner. And one of the things we know is that, of course, you have your classic courses, your classic lessons, but you want to sort of boost sometimes the knowledge, work on knowledge anchoring, like Gabor was discussing as well earlier. And so what we realize is we really need to speak the language of the learners. And a lot of the learners are, of course, also mobile first. So this is quite a mobile first feature, even though it will also be available on desktop. It's really first designed for mobile, as you can see on the sneak preview. And what it will do is it will allow you to publish short stories. So you can say, for example, look here, I have different topics. Maybe I'm going to publish on 3 different topics, and per topic, I'm going to publish 3 or 4 stories, and that can be an image, a short video. You can have text on it, you can have a link on it. And it's really super, let's say, low key, low maintenance content. It's not something that's going to be really as curated as the authoring tool. It's going to be much more share the small videos, sharing a small picture, sharing a small update. And when the learner then logs in to the platform, they will see that at the top of their menu so that they can kind of see it as like mini updates rather than the full lesson. So they'll just have a few little clicks. We're also going to limit the time. So it's max 30 seconds per fragment. So if, you could have 3 stories of 30 seconds, but per story it's only going to be 30 seconds. And it's really important that you then kind of can like very easily learn through that. It can be very short content, very light content, but we can then link back to lessons as well. So that's for us very important. You can link back to the longer formats, but this is really a short format. That's why we call it InstaLearn, because it's really instant learning. So just a quick knowledge update, a quick update, a quick news, just to have it really on the forefront of the learner's mind, so that also when they log in, they see it somewhere at the top before they enter their courses and their lessons. But it's something we're very excited about.
Absolutely. You just said that it's important. It has a multi-use.
Yeah.
So you can use it for news that is coming, like a new product, a new course, like a challenge started. Of course, all of these small videos will be also like access manageable to say. So you can define which news article is for which group. So You can have different regions and territories, but yes, very important that you don't to bring attention in a fun way with all these videos and very like Insta style learning.
Yeah.
Days.
Yeah, instant is really important. We really know that sometimes you just want to get quick update, quick knowledge to the learners. And then of course a 20-minute course is not the way to go. So then this is really your format for that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also good for sneak peeks, as we use that word quite a lot here today. But it's also good if you want to promote some content that is only just coming, then it's also a nice way of already sharing the bits of knowledge with the learners and only then moving to some other longer courses.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So we have 2 more to go. So quite a lot of topics today. The next one is the one that Gabor already sneak peeked as well. Right?
Sorry about that.
But now we see who it is.
Yes, I didn't say. I was not sure if it's part of the last slides, but it is.
Yes.
So now we have the name. So feel free to take us through this exciting update that's coming.
Right. So we've been supporting so far DeepL, Google Translate, Microsoft Translate for, let's say, as a basic machine translation. You send it, you get the translation immediately. And there's also the possibility to have a custom translation engine or in-house translation engine, but really just few of our clients have that because they develop something in-house. It requires resources, right? So we really wanted something in between, which is more than a simple machine learning, but not, you don't have to develop something in-house, but yet giving you capabilities of AI-backed translation, to learn your translation style, to have more control of your glossary on terms that the system shouldn't translate. Sometimes there are very specific terms used and they need to be very specifically translated or not translated, so on and so forth. So there's so many features, and on top of that, even human translation. So we really looked for the best partner for this, and Liebridge is a proven company. It's one of the biggest translation companies out there. So we really partnered with them because they are going to give all these possibilities. So it's a bring your own license model, just like the other translation engines. So you need to have your own contract with Liebridge, but after that, the quality of translation will be just multiplied by a lot because it will be so much more accurate to your specific context.
Yeah, we're really, really fortunate to partner with Linebridge. We have a very good collaboration with them, a very close connection with them. So they're also helping us do a very, very close integration so that it really will seamlessly work. And like Gabor said, it's kind of like the VIP option. So you have the basic options that are relatively low cost as well. I mean, DeepL is, 20, 30 euros a month. And Linebridge will be a little bit more expensive, but you gain a lot of value. So as soon as you want it to be a little bit more premium, and the great thing is that you can activate it also on a lesson on course basis. So you could say certain courses you need more support or less support. And that way you can also manage your translation budget. So it's quite an exciting one.
Yes, definitely. And also depending on the languages, right? I think it's really important because sometimes we may be more comfortable with machine translation with like DeepL or other provider with, let's say, more local languages that you have, maybe you work with on a daily basis or something, but then with more advanced languages that you may not be that, related to that much, it might be actually easier to have a human support as well. So that was a very good point.
Yeah, exactly. And the advantage is that you have the human support, and on top of that, the model really learns for you. So that's a little bit of a difference as well. With Microsoft Translate, they're not going to adapt to you, but with Linebridge, they can then also save, let's say, certain preferences, and you get a more and more custom model from AI as well, from the AI standpoint. So you have the human and the AI that are kind of continuously improving each other, so that you really have the best results.
Perfect. So our last point for today, before we move to Q&A session, is branched lessons. That was already mentioned a moment ago by Mario. So Mario, actually, could you give us a quick walkthrough of this one?
Yeah, definitely. So I already floated it earlier because I knew it was coming. And this, I think, in a way, we have maybe saved the best for last because I think we had a lot of cool updates this quarter and a lot of things to talk about. but this one is really nice when it comes to scenario-based learning. So basically what Branch Lesson is and what it allows you to do is create immersive scenarios for your learners. So you can really link slides to different options, saying, depending on what you choose as an answer and question, or depending which option you choose, you will go through, door 1 or door 2, and you can really enter different scenes and find different reactions. So that means that depending on your interaction with the model, whether you're answering a question or you're answering a simulated client question, you will see a different client reaction based on how you respond. So this is really cool. You're really creating a real life scenario where, depending on, for example, how Gabor interacts with the slide and says, oh, would you answer this or would you answer that, the outcome of the story would be completely different. And so it creates like a branch. Depending on your choices, you will go down a certain path, and that can be quite a few slides long. And that way you really create a storytelling with your learners. So you're kind of, in a safe way, letting them practice on real life scenarios, which we love scenario-based learning. So it's very exciting for us. And the fact that we can now finally do it in the authoring tool directly. We used to need Scorb for this, and now I think it's just very cool that we'll also be able to do it directly in the authoring tool. So this is, again, one of those things that we already prioritize to do in this quarter before we next quarter go to really a full upgrade of the overall layout of the authoring tool. Don't know if there's anything to add.
Perfect.
Amazing. So we've wrapped up our official part. Then now it's time for our Q&A session. I'm not sure if we already have some questions in the chat.
I've seen one about reporting, but not the full question. So if you can check.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so I see the first question was, can the dashboard and menu be customized on branches too?
Yes.
Yeah, the dashboard and the menu. The menu, yes. But about the dashboard, is it like for the learners dashboard? If so, yes, of course, like landing page where learners land, and in each branch it can be different.
And if it's for statistics, I suppose that's for one dashboard per entire group, right? With branches. Or how is that?
No, it's also like per branch. So also broadly split as in fact, when you switch between branches, you will see on your own dashboard, so to say.
Yeah, it's still like an instance. So even though you keep the link with the mother instance, let's say, and you still will have really your own instance with the branch, and you can really customize every part of the experience, both back end and front end.
Okay, great. Thank you. We have another question on the reports. Is it possible to access a dynamic dashboard with filters that can be activated to customize the data visualization?
So it's important that we little differentiate reports from dashboard. Of course, both are giving data, but this reporting improvement is for the downloadable Excel-based reports that you can after check the data in. And dashboards is a different thing. We definitely, it's also on our 2026 roadmap. It needs Angles 26 to improve dashboards so that you can customize which widgets you want, of course. But already we started to create custom dashboards for our clients. So we are currently building a kind of a widget book, or how to say, and we will list all the widgets which are available already, so we can send it to you, and you can start doing a bit of a shopping. Also for us to see which are the most required widgets. And based on that, we may be able to customize the dashboard already for you before rolling out the feature itself. Because sometimes we have a request like the specific metric is not so important for one client, but for the other, of course, it is. So this is something that we can help you with to reorganize a bit your admin statistic dashboards, maybe to add some filters as you said. So you can contact the project manager, the key account manager, and they will help you on this journey, how to make it more useful.
Yeah, we'll do the setup for you, so you won't be able to just quick activate, deactivate, but then we can fully sort of customize it together. Anyone questions, Julia?
Yeah, I see another one. I think the last one is on the chat. So the question is, once the multilingual scoring package is created, Is it possible to grant reviewers access to specific language versions so they can perform proofreading? So this is a bit of a question on SCORM packages.
Normally, the proofreading happens on the platform, not in the SCORM file, right, Gabor?
Right. So when it comes to multilingual content, let it be SCORM or all all of the languages have a different package, so they are not like packaged together into one, but all of the languages have a separate language. But yes, you can have proofreaders on the platform already. There is a role level called proofreader, and you can define this person, like which languages this person has access to. So they cannot change the English variant of your content for safety reasons, and they can manage only their own languages. So this is what proofreaders do, and you can even configure is this proofreader having access to all of your content or just specific courses.
So we hope that answers the question there as well. Any more questions from anyone? Still have a few minutes, so if anyone still would like to ask anything, we're happy to answer it. Otherwise, we might wrap up soon, Julia.
Yeah. I don't see any questions on the chat like anymore. So I suppose we're good. But of course, if you come up with some questions later on, you can always reach out to your dedicated project manager. And yeah, we'll follow up for sure to guide you through or explain different features a bit more in detail afterwards as well.
Yeah, thanks for joining. It was nice to see a lot of you already on the live, and of course, also if you were watching, thanks a lot. And just feel free, as usual, to come to us with more questions if you have any.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye bye.